believe you have. I know they're coming to do bridges this summer, so I'm sure that's why they're contacting you guys. But it's been, what did we look at last when they had been inspected?
Like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, and they suggest every 3 to 5.
Yeah. And what they do is they get inside the tank. They send a scuba guy inside the tank, and he checks all the corners and checks the ladder and checks the tank over to make sure it's still safe.
And they vacuum it out if they need to, if there's any debris in there.
I can tell you your ladder's shot. So.
What's that?
I can tell you your ladder's going bad.
Yeah.
It was going bad when they did it when I was here.
And I don't know how they would repair that. That's something that they would have to give us quote in on how to cost of repair. Would be in that something then I suppose we'll bring you guys.
And your fee would be the $38.76. You don't need any of those additional reports, so we would mark no reports requested. It just be $38.76.
Any other questions? We have a motion?
No question.
Yeah? No questions?
I move that we get Midco to come in and do the inspection.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the Midco inspection. Do we have any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Discuss a spending policy.
Yeah, so like I said, if you could just, this is something I'd want to formalize in probably a resolution as well, but I couldn't formulate a resolution until I had some idea of what you guys wanted. So in my mind, I'd like to see, like up to $500, the department head can make the decision. Up to $2,000, the mayor has to make the decision, and then beyond that is council. Those are just example numbers, but something to that effect, because department heads have to be able to make some day-to-day decisions. Like, when I run out of copy paper, I need to be able to just order copy paper from Office Depot and not have to come to someone for approval. So, within reason, department heads need some latitude as long as they're watching their budget and staying within their budget. That is a department head's job, to stay within their budget and watch those numbers. So, they are limited in that way by the budget that you guys all set. So.
Once we get zeroed out and we get squared away, we can have him keep a department head up to speed where he's at on his budget through the year. Correct?
Yeah, and actually I got you guys balanced through March of 24. So you are balanced to current for the first time since, I'm not sure, before Brenda. So, a long time.
Reggie was in office.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. I finally got through March on Sunday. I actually balanced part of April today after I printed your checks and stuff, but because I don't have access to the Valley account yet, I can't fully balance April until I find out what the interest payments were. So it's not fully balanced, but within a week you're going to be fully balanced for April. So you're going to be balanced in real time for the first time in a really long time. And I actually spent a lot of time on your cash account and everything and got a lot of those straightened out. I got your replacement and depreciation for your water and sewer funds lined out for your previous debt. We still have to deal with this new debt that you just approved tonight. But I got that straightened out. I got a lot of your ARPA money. You got a big reimbursement in April. I got that all put in the right places. Yeah, it's looking really good. Not all the FEMA money is taken care of yet, but a good chunk of it. I just haven't had time to research which claims are reimbursable. As soon as I find out what they are, I go and adjust for them and move that FEMA money where it's supposed to be gone back to. But unfortunately, that's been a little low on my list.
Well, yeah.
So, but it's not off the list. It's still on there. But you guys are in pretty good shape. I'm actually pretty happy. If you look at your cash report, almost nothing was in the negative. So, way less than used to be in the negative. So, you're in a lot better shape. I was pretty pleased with how it all came out. So.
How
It's kept from FEMA.
Good job.
I can't tell you exactly. It was around the $100,000 mark. I can't remember if it was a hair under or hair over, but if you come see me sometime when I'm in the office, I can look up the exact number for you.
Well, you'd have to look for a spending policy.
Don't spend it.
Spend it? Yeah.
Spending a lot.
Well, I mean, even when I was public works director, you guys had given me a limit that I could spend without approval that I needed to do.
What was that amount?
I think it was right around 500 and everything, and then anything up to, I believe, 1,500, I think it was, the mayor could approve. And then anything after that needed council approval, but a lot of times there, because I mean, we made different purchases. When I purchased the freeze machine, it was a guy made a quick deal on it. I had a councilman, I said, hey, we can get this for this amount of money. He called the other councilman, got their approval over the phone, and whether or not that was the correct way to do it, that's... I know.
Right? Yeah. We're sitting here like...
I know. But I mean, it was one of those, but that was,
Yeah.
you know, in that case there.
Yeah, there are times where deals come along. That's absolutely true. I believe that was the deal with the bucket for the skid steer, is the overall price was significantly cheaper than Mark thought he would ever get it for. So he, yeah. So, and I do have that receipt. It was $11.31 was the total cost. So, but yeah.
Now, are you guys looking at if he makes an individual purchase for $500 and then he can make that every day, or $500 purchase a week, or how do you guys want that to read?
I'm a little lost here. Why do you need 500?
The average.
Well, if we make a $500
Break that down,
limit,
divide it by-
he can't spend anything more than $500 at a time.
Right, I was thinking on a single purchase, not aggregate for the month.
That's what I was.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting.
Mine was, yeah, that was what mine was. I mean,
Yeah.
if I needed, at that time, we had absolutely no tools. And so to purchase different tools that I needed, I was able to go ahead, but I mean, it wasn't, okay, you get $500 a month and that was it. It was, I could spend no more than 500 at a time.
Yeah.
Without prior approval, either the mayor, and then over $1,500, then it had to be approved by council.
And really, like what you were talking about, the bucket or something like that, I've hit deals where I've worked that, hey, I found this, I can get it for you today for this price, it's half price. It'd pay for us to do an emergency meetings we had to, on a big ticket item that we come across the screaming deal, you know.
Yeah, and you
Yeah, as long as you got 2 days to wait to notice it, that would work.
Yeah.
And you could do a exception provisions where like once a year or something that you could do a higher dollar amount. You could put those provisions in there. Or not.
I would rather not at this time, put that kind of thing, but a $500 limit, I think would be good.
500 per department head, everything above that is gonna touch base with you, and with 1,500 you'll need council.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything, even a load of gravel, what, $300?
Depends on how to do it.
$300-400 a load of gravel.
Just look at that claim.
So, as I tried to get him to bring a load of sand, and I see it, I don't think it's what I did. So we have it available just in case. But,
500 and then the approval for anything over that.
Yeah.
yep.
I think
Then he would have to-
5, he's gotta call them, and anything over 1,500, he'd have to get the dream team together and get the official nod.
Yep.
Sounds reasonable.
Sound reasonable to you guys? $500 limit per item.
So we can revisit it and start going and see how it goes for a while. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not gonna start
So now we got
next
the budget finished, be easier to track that kind of
So
stuff.
do we need to do a resolution on this, or is this?
Yeah, I just needed some information tonight. I will draft a resolution for the next meeting that you guys can pass. And then, yes, when you want to change it, you just do a new resolution that supersedes the old one, you're good.
So are we gonna draft it to where it's department head only, like say we hire another guy, does he get that same thing, or?
I would word it as department head only. I don't
So,
think
yeah, I would
employees
department head only.
underneath, need to be making purchases.
We don't need
So.
somebody else that comes in and spend money. Hard enough to keep track.
So, okay. Nope, that's all I really need then. I'll work on a resolution.
Okay,
So,
sounds good.
you guys are good?
I'm good with that then. So we can move on to the next.
This doesn't approve gas for the police department.
No, that would be separate on the Cenex fleet card. So
Okay.
just like he can go to like Northwest Pipe
Okay.
and order what he needs, that's separate. This would be more for probably the credit card than anything.
Machine.
No.
Okay.
So I guess it would apply to everything. But
Well, if he
I
had
don't
to
know
go
if he's working on a meter and
purchase-
he's got to
if
spend
he went to
$600
billing to purchase
that's-
stuff and it was over the 500 limit, he would
We'll
call
just have to
me
call
and
you.
say, hey, I'm at
Yeah.
Northwest Pipe and I got a
Mhm.
$1,500 amount I'm gonna have to come up with. And he'd
Yeah.
have to give me yes or no.
Yeah.
So I'd ask, I'd have questions. But
Mhm.
next up is discuss the personnel policy.
So I don't know how much you guys, I know it's really late, so I mean honestly if you want to table it, we could talk about it next month. There's just some things, your personnel policies hasn't been updated in a while. There's some things that I come across like, there's items purchased for employees like clothing, like work type items, like boots or gloves. I'd like to maybe see something in there about what can be purchased and how much per year and how that's done, whether it's reimbursed or whether it's paid for out of the town's account. I'd like that in there. I know you had some questions on hours. No, you would have some questions on hours.
Well, usually, we create a winter coat,
Oh,
and then rubber boots, things like that.
But that's helpful to me if that's addressed in here, because then when it comes across my desk as a clerk, I don't have to question it. It's already lined out.
under this, I know we've discussed this before, just because everything's going on. I think that as far as Marcus is going, he's pulling in 4 hours overtime a week that I don't think he needs to do. He can take off early on Fridays unless there's an emergency going on.
Who's gonna take the water or sewer samples?
If he takes off early on Friday, he can cover them on Saturday and Sunday.
And they should only take an hour.
So-
An hour gives them more than,
And that would be something we could address in here as well, is
In
what
the
they get
personnel
for
policy.
doing maintenance type work on the weekends versus what they get for a call out, like if there's an emergency.
Because I
You can
think that's
outline
the way
those
it reads
minimums.
now, is anything,
no.
I don't
it
think
does
it
not.
does now,
It does
but
not.
it should. And
No.
so you should outline that.
There is nothing about overtime for they're allowed 4 hours for the weekend or anything like that.
There's nothing even in there about what they get for a call out if they get called
Yeah.
out for an emergency. Because if you have an emergency where you get called out and it only takes you 15 minutes because somebody just couldn't figure out their own stuff, well then you get like a 2-hour minimum. A lot of places
Show
will
up
do
pay.
that. Yeah, show up pay is what a lot of people call it. So, but you guys could have like a maintenance hourly, like a set amount on the weekends for maintenance, checking the water and sewer, and then you could have a separate call out for emergencies. So, but these are things we don't have to hammer out tonight, but if I start to have a list of things that you want changed in here, I can start to make drafts and maybe have a draft ready for you at the next one.
I think we should do that.
Table it.
Do we have a motion to table?
Aye.
Do we have a second? Do we have a second to motion the personnel policy till next?
So are we tabling to kind of all come back to the table and bring up what we would like to see and change that we're getting under?
Yes.
Yeah, and I have 2 things on the list, the call out and maintenance time and clothing allowance. If there's something else you guys want on here, let me know. If you come up with something later, let me know. I can even start working on it. I'll outline my changes very clearly where you can see what was changed. So we
I'll
can
second
even
it.
amend it as we go.
If you make it easier to understand. Do we have a motion? Do we have a second?
I second it.
We have a motion and a second. The table personnel policy till next meeting. All in favor? No.
Alright.
All in favor? Aye. Well, I don't think we have any public comment, so. All in favor? Aye. Town attorney. Dennison.
Nope, nothing to report.
Yeah. Marcus is not here. He's in school this week.
Which,
He's in a water sewer school in Bronx.
He's just doing like the pre-exam and then taking the exam on Friday.
right, so I couldn't be here tonight.
I don't know. I thought he was going to be. So. Christian, town clerk?
Just a few quick updates. The delinquent water bills, the way I'm handling those is everybody was stamped for shut off on their bills. They have until the 15th to pay or come in and make a promise to pay agreement with me in order to stay on. Once they make a promise to pay, I remove their penalties so that they don't get any more penalties assessed to them until they're paid up, and I'm giving them 1 year to pay their past due charges. So they have to pay their current charges every month plus their past due on the day we do the promise to pay divided by 12. So by June of 2025, you guys should have all of your bills caught up. And I know that feels like a long time, but you guys didn't get this way overnight. You got this way over the course of years. So if we actually get it caught up in 1 year, I will find that to be hugely successful. So that is what I'm doing with those. You guys, at some point, you need to appoint a planning board member, just so you're all thinking about it. Somebody should represent us at the county level. We don't currently have a planning board member. Julie Jones?
Maybe in the planning.
No, it's something that'll have to be advertised, but first so you know, you're missing one, because I keep getting the notices on the clerk's email.
Yeah, that one.
And then the possible overcharge, hopefully people are starting to understand that that's been addressed with your rate code resolution. I'm still hearing a little bit about it. I'm still having people take $5 off what I say they owe on their bill and then paying and saying, I don't know, that $5. They do. We really need to help the public understand. They have been billed correctly. They are being billed correctly. They need to read the rate code resolution and come ask the clerk or Melissa questions if they have questions.
Yeah, and what happened and part of the confusion, me and Chris and I talked to her about, for a number of years, for like 6 years, the town gave 2,000 gallons out, which they weren't supposed to do, during the summertime. And so that's why everybody assumed they got the, and me included, assumed we got the 2,000 gallons a month. That was kind of one of those deals where the council said, oh yeah, we'll give 2,000 gallons out in the summer. And everybody thought, we just get 2,000 gallons a month. So
Yeah.
that's where it kind of started.
And it's okay. I just really, if you guys as the council could help the public to understand and not misbilling them anymore.
Yeah.
I've been very diligent in checking that. We are not misbilling. So please send them to me if they have additional questions you guys can't answer. But if you could help dispel that rumor so that people start paying accurately again, that would be great. So that's all I have.
Any questions? Does the public have any questions for Christian?
I don't have a question. I just want to thank this woman above and beyond. It's the first time we've had this in, I could count the years in 30 that we've had it.
Yeah, you guys are looking really good. I'm really happy with where I've gotten so far.
I am too.
Well, thank you very much. Let's see. Next is approve the claims. These are checks that we need to sign for.
Yep, I got them over here. I know you guys already asked some questions, but I do have them here if you need to see any of them.
Do we have a motion?
I move to approve the claims, but I would still like the other thing with, all the usual with Mark, and what those charges were. Ones that smoke, and donuts, and all
What?
that.
Where's this? I wonder if I forgot fingered something.
Yeah.
Oh, smoke pump. Yeah, that's what the receipt said. It says smoke pump, though. Not smoke. Not just smoke, anyway. It's a smoke pump. I don't know what that is, but that's what it said.
I wonder if it's for yeast. I wonder if he ran into a bunch of
Midnight
yeast.
Air
Spray for
Smoke
mosquito?
Times Pump Spray. See, I have to abbreviate. I only get so many characters, so sometimes what I put on there doesn't always work out in my paper.
Black gun gives you such a small space to type in.
I know, yeah. I've had issues with that before with what I chose to pick off the
Spray
receipt and it
for
doesn't work
mosquitoes or
out well.
It was only $3.75.
Yeah, it wasn't
We're
cigarettes,
really
so that's
kicking
right.
No,
Some kind
no,
of spray.
I just was
Yeah.
curious as to what it
What
was.
was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just was curious as to what it was, and everything.
My abbreviations are just not
Okay.
working out well, but it's here if you want it when you're done. But yeah, I don't know. Must be
Yeah,
some
you
maybe
see
air
that he's
freshener.
charging
I
So,
don't know.
thicker
Looks like air freshener
Definitely.
maybe.
Well, I just was curious as I just seen smoke,
Yeah,
and it's
sorry.
like, okay.
I was pretty sure it wasn't cigarettes, but I couldn't remember why I put smoke.
Okay.
So.
So we have that part straightened out. And we know where the donuts came from.
Yes, that one I did check. It did say food for volunteers at the top of the receipt.
And I'll second Mike's
Okay, we have a
motion.
motion and a second to approve the claims. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next is payroll summary.
I move we approve the payroll summary.
If you guys would initial it when you're done. I know there's no place to sign, but you can just initial on that one. And again, if you guys who need to be checking those check numbers periodically to make sure that they're sequential from one month to the next, that's what you're approving with these.
So let's check numbers and stuff. We have a motion, but we do not have a second for payroll summary. We have a motion and a second to approve payroll summary. All in favor?
I move we adjourn the meeting.
What is the next meeting date?
June 10th.
June 10th, and it would be 6:30 because you have your public hearing. So don't forget to show up early. I'll try to remember to send you a reminder text.
Okay.
I'm not always very good at that.
We have a motion to adjourn. Second? We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. It was a long meeting. Appreciate everybody.
Yeah.